Sunday Scaries, headlined by Lamar Jackson, Jay, 14 of 25. There was the 2 picks. Of course, one was tipped. Yeah. But he just doesn't look like himself right now, mobility-wise.
No, he doesn't. And frankly, he hasn't really all season since that Buffalo game in week 1. Like, why was he getting sacked 7 times by the Lions even before he did the hamstring? So I think a lot of this was about Myles Garrett having an out-of-body experience, and the Browns, they have a top 5 defense. But Lamar, he has not been the same guy that he was last year.
10 rushing yards in this game, fewest in a game this season, but they do get the Jets next week, so hopefully that bounces back for LJ.
Disastrous day for the Chargers offense, Matthew. Disastrous. Justin Herbert doesn't even get to 100 yards. Ladd McConkey, 3 catches for 13 yards.
Awful. Like, by the way, that was my worst call of the entire week. Herbert and McConkey were on the love list. I had Gadsden as a top 10 play. I thought QJ would do well as well. Just could not have been more wrong about this. Season low in average depth of target. The offensive line is just so brutal for the Chargers. Jacksonville's able to get after them as well. Just a 17% target share for McConkey. Back-to-back games now with a below 20% target share. 5th game this season for McConkey. Single-digit fantasy points. A lot of them happened earlier in the year as well. But Justin Herbert just a little too inconsistent. 3.3 fantasy points, though. 2nd lowest scoring game of his entire career against Jacksonville. This is embarrassing, and this is the least prepared I've ever seen a Jim Harbaugh coach team. It was awful. It was an embarrassment.
Same could be said, Jay, for the Bengals in this one. Joe Flacco, not a great day. Of course, the pick 6. Jamar Chase, production-wise, really bad. 3 catches, 30 yards. Even worse, he could be facing a suspension with the video that's come out against Jalen Ramsey.
It's unbelievable to say with such conviction that you did not spit on someone when you have to know there's video of you spitting on someone. Yeah. In any case, Joe Flacco, it's what happens every year, my friends. He has these great stretches, and then he turns back into Joe Flacco. He did that in the playoffs that you were at against the Texans. Last year, same thing with the Colts, and this year he was diabolical yesterday. He could have had multiple pick 6s.
Yeah, I mean, but again, I don't know that there's any takeaway. None of these guys you're panicking on. Just tough day at the office for all of them. And also, I think the jury's still out a little bit on Woody Marks. Again, we see this. Like, Woody Marks has this great game. We're like, well, and Woody Marks. And then, a game like he had, this should have been a great game for Woody Marks. But, he had season highs in rush attempts and rush rate. He had 18 attempts, 78% rush rate, but just 6.1 fantasy points, just didn't turn into production. 18 for 44. He only catches 1 ball for 7 yards, which is weird. They didn't use him in the passing game.
Agree.
Here, Connor, I get it's Davis Mills, but under 7 fantasy points in 2 of the past 3. Obviously had the 1 big game in between there, but I don't know that you feel like we need to see more consistency out of Woody Marks before you can feel like he's a locked-in top 20 running back.
A lot of runs for a loss, a lot of runs at the stop to the line of scrimmage. I need him to get to 60 for pickup Lions. Disappointing day for Woody Marks.
Hey, it's Matthew Berry from NBCSports.com and Rotoworld.com, and I want to thank you so much for watching whatever it is you just watched, or if nothing else, being too lazy to click out of the autoplay after this video started, after whatever it is you actually wanted to watch finished. But now that you're here, I'd like to take a moment here to ask you respectfully now, okay? I'm asking you respectfully to subscribe to the NFL on NBC YouTube channel. You'll get the latest Roto-World fantasy news headlines, all sorts of great shows, including my own Fantasy Football Happy Hour. So go subscribe now. Again, I'm asking respectfully.